This is the Busted Open Podcast.
Welcome to the Busted Open Podcast. This is Dave LaGreca. On today's episode, WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry and I talk to another future Hall of Famer, and that is Mickie James.
Uncle Nate, you the best, the best, the best, the best.
Enough of the shenanigans, because our guest is here, Mark. Come on now.
Oh,
show
my
some
God.
decorum. Decorum, for crying out loud.
I have none.
We welcome in on a Falls Count Anywhere Friday, the one and only Mickie James. Mickie, how are you this morning?
Oh, well, good morning. Good morning. Oh, I have to be honest. I don't have a stitch of makeup on because guess what?
Don't need it.
I love you,
Look
Mark.
at you.
Yo, what up? What's going on, Native Tube fam? Ooh. Yo, I'm in my car, in my ride, and this is where I basically listen to most of my podcasts. Now, I don't listen with my headphones. I was out. I was listening. Listen. I listen to podcasts. And one of the podcasts that I really, really liked was Mickie James this week on Busted Open. Mickie James had an encounter with Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder of all people. And the way old girl you gotta listen to it. It's a sample. It is a soundbite sample, and Mickie James is cool as hell. And then I'm gonna flip it back after she talks about Stevie Wonder. I cut to basically how Mickie feels about girls in the industry and what they should be doing, and how basically the wrestling industry should be. Like, nobody's selling anymore. Basically, everybody's just doing moves after moves. That's basically what I'm saying all the time, man. Just listen to Mickie James talk about wrestling industry and, how the shit is. All right? It's podcast showcase. Mickie James. I'm Busted Open. Mark Henry and Dave LaGreca. This is Native Tube. Comment, like, subscribe. You know all that business. Yes.
Do you want to hear a funny Stevie Wonder joke?
Uh-oh.
It's not a joke. It's a real story that happened to me.
Okay.
It's not a joke. No joke. I never joke about Stevie Wonder. I love Stevie Wonder. So, this is so stupid. I felt like an idiot, but we're all, I think Nick, Donovan, and I were all getting ready to go maybe home to England for his parents' whatever holidays or something. And we're in the airport and we're going through, and this is Richmond Airport. So, Mark, you've probably been through Richmond Airport. David, I don't know if you've ever been, but it's a small airport, but they run a tight ship. That's one of my favorite airports. I get in. That's why, one of the reasons why I stayed there for so long is because I love that airport and it's just so simple for me. But anyway, going through B security, right? And all of a sudden I start to hear this commotion, like people are like, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? And I look over and they're opening up a separate lane that was closed before. So somebody special must be coming through. So here I'm thinking it's got to be I don't know, somebody important. Chris Brown lives in, he lives outside of Richmond. I'm like, he probably flies out of the private airport. Okay, whatever. I look over and I'm like, oh. And as he's coming through, I go, Stevie motherfucking Wonder.
Stevie motherfucking Wonder.
Stevie motherfucking Wonder.
Stevie motherfucking Wonder.
Stevie motherfucking Wonder. Like that. It was Stevie Wonder. I went. I had no words.
Did he hear you?
On the floor. I was in the presence of greatness. I'm like.
Did he hear you?
I see this guy walk up to him, and he's like, "Hello, Mr. Wonder." That's the last. Hello, Mr. Wonder. I grew up with her stuff, and it was the greatest. And I'm like, all I could do is, and you can see his security people and even Stevie pop because I was too nervous to ask Mr. Wonder for an autograph, but I was stalking them to see which gate he was going to go to because I considered it, but I couldn't get past Stevie motherfucking Wonder.
I had that same moment too, but it was Carrot Top.
Uncle Nate is the North Detroit represent. Toronto represent.
The one thing that I think also that I've committed on, because I knew I wasn't going to be the one to go out there and do a triple moonsault off the top. I always try to commit, and I see this a lot with both of these girls when you bring them up. commit to the sell. I always wanted to make my opponent look good. It was never about my shit, and I wanted to make sure I got my shit in. I wanted to make sure when I told the story that the people believed that that person was kicking my butt. I wanted to sell. I committed to the sell. I sold. I was not afraid to sell. I didn't think it made me look weak. I didn't think it helped me tell the story. I think that's a common misconception that's happened across the board in wrestling, is people are so worried about getting their shit in and looking strong and being strong, and they've not committed to the sell. So now everybody is half committing to the sell, and what in turn is happening is the fans are half committing to caring, because they don't believe that you're in jeopardy. They don't believe that you're hurt. They believe that you're playing wrestler, and so they don't think that you care, so therefore they don't care. That's the problem.
Wow.
That's where this weird shift has happened. You know what I mean? Because everybody's too much of a mark for themselves instead of a mark for the business. And and the story, you know, it's like a weird, and I don't know if this is just like the way the business is changing. And maybe this is where I missed the boat, because I never was that. And that mentality has always made me insane. And I could see it start to filter in, you know, the business. And as it slowed down, I'm going, ew, that's gross.
Can I slip an amen in there? Cause you
yeah, I get it. But that's really where it's now. It's like really prevalent, where I never thought that type of mentality would take a precedent in our company or even in the industry. But now it seems to be like that is more than the people who have committed to the sell and to the characters, in my opinion. Like it used to be like you had to be money on the mic and you had to be able to sell your butt off, especially as a babyface, because I spent the most of my career as a babyface. Even Shawn Michaels told me it's not about the moves you do. Like you look at me, you look at Hunter, we do the same 5 moves to everybody, anybody, anywhere. He goes, I just sell. That's what I do. And I'm like, that is what he does. And he's like the best. I want to do that. Like, that's just my mentality. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to sell and be the best at selling.
Woo! Comment, like, and subscribe. I said that. And what else podcast you wanted me to listen to? Because I already listened to them. And if you got a podcast you want me to showcase, comment, send a subscription. In the description is also the link to this, to Mickie James, to this Busted Open.
Uncle Nate, you the best, you best, you best, you best.
Umbalapalapalero, umbalapalapalero.